and I want to share with you some wonderful bread that I've been experimenting with lately, and it is so delicious that I felt that it would be good for other people to learn how to make it. And it's all ancient grains, soaked grains, gluten-free grains that have been soaked overnight. And what happens when you soak them overnight, it increases the B vitamins and help them to be a lot more digestible. And so the recipe for millet bread is going to be 1/4 cup of amaranth. This is all organic. 1/3 cup of soybeans and 2 cups of millet. Now I buy this millet and these grains and all of my nuts and seeds, beans and grains, from As Your Standard. It's a little co-op where you meet the truck once a month, and so they carry just about everything you need, and it's fresh, and you know it's going to be fresh. So a lot of people are buying from them. Okay, so then I cover it with water all the way to the top of the quart jar, and the reason why I do this amount is because this is what is going to fit in this Vitamix, because we blend it. And that's another reason why it's good to soak your grains, because you can, if you have flour, you don't know how long it's been sitting on the shelf, and it hasn't been soaked. And so this is kind of considered sprouted grains, and it makes the grains very soft so you can blend them and you don't have to use flour. So I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator and use it up to 24 hours. It should be used pretty soon, anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. Okay, the next step is this has been soaked for 24 hours actually, and I am going to strain it and rinse it very good, and then I'm going to put it in the blender and blend it. So I take my strainer and go over to the sink, dump it out. Rinse it really good. Let it drain for a minute. Put it in this blender. Now this is a Vitamix blender. If you're going to use the other smaller blenders, you might want to cut the recipe in half. This recipe is meant for a full batch going into the Vitamix blender. And so if you want to get your products from As Your Standard, it's very easy. You just call the company, or you can go online, find out if they have a pickup in your area, and start placing your order. And they tell you when the cutoff date is, they tell you when your order is going to be coming in to your area, and it's very inexpensive. Okay, now this recipe calls for 2 cups of water with this amount of soaked grains. I don't put the full amount in because you want to use as little as possible. So I save a little bit just in case it's going to blend up completely without having to add more water, because the drier it is, the more it's going to be not soggy, it's going to be fluffy in the oven after you cook it. Okay. So I start off with it on low and bring it up high, and then after I blend it, I'll add the psyllium husks. The psyllium husk is what allows you to make this bread without any yeast, baking powder, and be able to have it fluffy. Okay, so this is going to be, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of salt, a little less than 2 teaspoons, and 1 3/4 to be exact. And then I'm going to blend it, and at the end I'm going to put in the psyllium husk, because if I try to blend it all now, it's going to be too thick to completely blend. So I have to blend everything good so that it's completely blended, and then I quickly add the psyllium husk all at once. It's 4 tablespoons, which is the same as 1/4 cup. Okay, let's blend this first. So now I'm going to pour it into, I like to have a pan that you're going to have a lot of surface area, because it's going to thicken now, and then the surface on the top is going to be a little bit more drier, which makes it easier to form into little buns. So now this is going to go into the refrigerator without a lid for anywhere from 2 hours to overnight. We have a walk-in cooler here. Okay, the next step is, after it has set overnight, which I have one here that is cold, and it actually sat for about 4 hours. And I'm going to put it on these sheets. It's the stainless steel, but I like to use the parchment paper because it doesn't stick. And we heat our oven to 350 degrees. So I take a little bit, about that much, wet my hands. Let's see, put my little water container there. Completely wet your hands. Put it in your palm, especially the top part, the dry part. Fold it in and make like a little bun. Put it on the paper, and pat it down. And so forming the buns. They're not going to rise, so you can have them close together. It's fine. They're going to be light and flaky inside. There's several different types of millet, but there's one that is especially healthy. It's called ragi, or finger millet, and it is 10 times higher in calcium than any other millet. I just found out about that, so I'm going to be trying that millet. But millet is completely gluten-free, and it is alkaline forming to the system, whereas a lot of the grains are acid forming. You bake them at 350 for 40 minutes to an hour. You want them to be a little bit golden brown. Okay, so we will go ahead and put them in the oven. Preheated oven. I like to do it on the top shelf because they'll cook a little bit more evenly. We have the finished result. And these are nice and flaky. And they're actually, usually I have to have something to put on my bread when I eat it. I can eat these without putting anything on it. They're so delicious. And I want you to feel free to look at my other videos. I have a lot of recipes, raw food recipes, cooked food recipes, and health lectures. And I've been a vegan for 54 years, and so there's been a lot of experience that I've had. Thank you for watching.